Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by to watch this Dazzled or Disappointed on a super exciting product, and it is the Violet Voss Ride or Die eyeshadow palette. Came in the mail yesterday. I have been able to play with it, swatch it, use it. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes today, and so I want to go through, give you swatches of all 42 eyeshadow shades and let you know what my thoughts are on this product. So let's just go ahead and jump right in because the swatches are going to take a while. So let's go ahead and start. Okay, so like I already showed, the box comes like this. It's holographic. It's very, very pretty. On the back it says, this super limited edition collection brings you 42 highly sought after colors that you will call your ride or die. Our palette is a mix of mattes, metallics, pearls, and satins to help you achieve any complete look. We hope you love this palette as much as you love your ride or die. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into the palette. This is what it looks like. So same design as the box. I love the bow. I love the fact that it's holographic. I love that it's this large. I think I've told y'all before, I like different types of things. I don't like them all to be standard, one size fits all type, you know, I can always travel with it. No, I like different things like this, and so the fact that it's this like sturdy and large, I love that. That's already a win for me. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. I'm not going to blind you, but just know that there is a mirror on the inside right there. And then you get to 42 eyeshadow shades. I didn't know if this bent back because this morning it wasn't wanting to, and I'd hate to like break it. So anyways, this is what it looks like. I mean, it's pretty, like, look, I can cover my whole face with this. That's that large. Anyways, so it's my understanding that, and I didn't know about this palette until probably a couple months ago, but it's my understanding that this has been in the works and that Violet Voss was taking suggestions of shades for this palette and using people's names that made those suggestions as shade names, which I think is pretty unique. I like that. I was very happy to see that my name was in here, so not saying that I'm the one that suggested that shade because I absolutely did not. I can't take credit for that, but it's kind of nice to know my name's in here. Now, let me give you a close-up of the palette. So the first thing I'm going to tell you when I first opened it up was that I was a little disappointed. So the reason being was that I didn't see a whole lot of true variety in the colors, and that when you get 42 shades, you expect to get a lot of variety. Well, there wasn't really as much variety as I had imagined, as I had hoped. For example, these 4 shades right down here are all different versions of gold. In fact, these 2 look almost identical to me when I swatch them. To me, you don't need 4 different shades of gold. 1 or 2 is fine, like maybe 1 gold, but a bright gold, maybe a darker gold, like an old gold type. You don't need 4. So then I come over here and I see quite a few orangey shades, and I'm like, 1 or 2, again, you don't need like 3 or 4. I always love these types of cranberry shades, so I'm happy with that. But I just didn't feel like there was a whole lot of variety. Like over here you have a couple, you have like a silver and then more of a gunmetal silver. I just don't feel like you need so much similarity. Then again, I guess when you're doing 42 shades, there's, I don't know, maybe you run out of options. I don't know. Anyways, so first off, I was disappointed when I saw the color scheme. Just not a whole lot of, I don't want to say originality, but just too much of the same. So for the price tag, I want to say I paid $68 for it, but I also had to pay $8 shipping. So you want it to be just, I mean, stellar when you open it up. There's so much to choose from. I honestly would have thought a few pops of color would have been good. I mean, if it's truly your ride or die, it's because it has everything you need. And I don't feel like, for those of us who do like those pops of color, maybe like a teal or, you know, a bright blue or something along those lines, that's just not in here. But moving on, that is one thought. However, my thought did change, and I'll tell you why. But before I get into that thought, I want to give you all the swatches first. So you know I do 4 swatches at a time, so we're gonna have to move through these pretty quickly in order for this video not to be super long. So let's just go ahead and get started with those. First 4 are Michelle, April, Destiny, and Ella. As y'all know, I'm never too thrilled about the lighter shades because I feel like they don't really do much for me. There's not really much to do with them. I did use the lightest shade, which is called Michelle, for my brow bone highlight today, but I feel like I always give that as a disclaimer when I swatch these super light shades, and I'm not super crazy about them. Next four are Anne, Erica, Leslie, and Fiona. So you've got a couple of really good transition shades there in the middle. Those are matte. Those two in the middle. We now have Alex, Kelly, Paula, and Emma. And then just to let you know, Paula and Emma are kind of like a, I don't want to say duochrome, but kind of that type of finish. And they, I mean, yeah, they are duochrome. Next four are Abigail, Isabella, Jasmine, and Ariel. And Abigail is what I used as my transition color today, blended like a dream. It was absolutely beautiful. Now we have Nicole, Jane, Allison, and Caitlin. And Allison is another one of those duochrome type shades. We're about halfway there. We've got Holly, Jamie, Skylar, and Monica. I work with a lot of people with these names, by the way. Very rich in pigmentation, as you can see. Very consistent with what I would expect from Violet Voss. We have Jessica, Madeline or Madeline, Alice, and Scarlett. But see, I'm going to point out, this cranberry shade is very similar, almost identical, to the cranberry shade that I swatched in the last set of four. So again, just that's along the lines of the repetitive piece of this palette, but just pointing that out. Second to last row is Natalie, Maria, Josie, and Nancy. And just to let you know that Maria is what I am wearing all over my lid today. Well, that black is really nice. For being a black, it's very soft. It's not intensely chalky or anything. Stephanie, Riley, Andrea, and Carly. I will say I wish there were more shades or more finishes like Stephanie, just the chunkier, more metallic type of shades. And then I'm going to point out that Andrea is yet another kind of cranberry shade that's going to be similar to the last two that I pointed out. There we go. Now this matte black, or this black is matte. The last one that I swatched in the last set of four had glitter. We're on the last row, guys. Rachel, Courtney, Delilah, and Ashley. And I'm going to point out that Delilah is another gold shade. This is the fourth one that looks pretty darn similar. Again, I think they could have done with one or two. I don't think there was a necessity for four, but that's what they look like right there. And it looks like it's a little bit of a darker gold, but still gold nonetheless. The last two in the palette are Sarah and Amy is what I am wearing in my crease today. So obviously very pigmented. It's slightly chalky, it is a matte, but crazy pigmentation, blended incredibly. I was able to pick up quite a bit of product with ease onto my brush. It blended out so nicely. Had absolutely no problems with it. Okay guys, now that we've gone through all 42 shades of this ginormous palette, I want to give you my final thoughts, and that is that despite the fact that I was disappointed with the array of colors. Again, there's like 4 golds. I don't think you need 4. There's like 4 cranberries, and as much as I love cranberries, I'd rather sacrifice a couple of them in this palette to get a couple of different shades. So there's a lot of repetitive colors. Now that aside, I will say that they perform on par with Violet Voss. I own the Laura Lee palette and I absolutely love it because they're some of the softest, butteriest shades that I own, and the pigmentation is incredible. Now I will say I love the color scheme in the Laura Lee palette as far as just different shades. There's just a variety, and that's what I was hoping to see here. So that disappointment aside, I will say that based on the performance of these shades, I was absolutely dazzled. It was on par with what I would expect from Violet Voss. They blended out perfectly. The mattes perform very, very nicely. The pigmentation is incredible. So as far as the product goes, as far as performance and quality, the performance and quality is there. So as long as you don't mind a little bit of duplication, then this palette is definitely worth your while. You get 42 shades, so it would take you forever to go through that many shades. So it definitely is a great palette. I wouldn't consider it ride or die because, again, it doesn't have all the shades I would want in there. It's just, I think it could have had a little more variety, but the performance and the quality of these shades and of these shadows is incredible. Let me zoom you in and I'll show you my eye look for today. I had absolutely no problems. You know, putting on your makeup should be effortless, and this was effortless. I had absolutely no problems whatsoever. I was able to get my eye look done quick and easy. Just to let you know, what I have in the corner is the Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow in Retro Rose Gold. So that is not part of this palette, obviously, but everything else, it went on so nicely. It has held up all day long. I am very, very pleased with it. I have that darker shade, I think is Maria on the lid. I have Amy, I think it was that cranberry color, or I think it was called Amy, in the crease. And then I have, I want to say it was Abigail as a transition shade. And then I have Michelle on my brow bone. So 4 shades done. I loved my eye look for today. I did put Maria on the lower lash line as well, and it was perfect. I was so impressed. I went in disappointed when I did my eye look today because I was like, oh, you know, $68 and there's just so many dupes in there, or just so many, duplicates of each other. But once I did my eye look, I was like, okay, all that's gone. My disappointment's pretty much gone just because these perform so nicely. So I was able to pick mine up during the secret release. They had a few days during IMATS where they released it online. I picked it up then. So I don't know when it is going to release officially. I will find out if I can, and if I do find out, I will put it in the description box below so that you do know when it is coming out in case you're wanting to get your hands on it. So definitely, again, if you're willing to fork out the $68 because of the pigmentation and quality of these, I say go for it. It's worth it. Definitely a Dazzled in my opinion on that note. Just, again, not to beat a dead horse, it's just the color scheme could have used a little more variety. But my Dazzled overtakes my disappointed because of just how nicely they performed. So let me give you the verse of the day. Today's comes from Psalm 68:5, and it says, "A father to the fatherless, a defender of widows, is God in his holy dwelling." So God fights for you guys. If you will let him, he will fight for you. And so it's just, he is amazing. I can't say that enough. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, I hope you'll consider doing so. This way you're notified of any future videos that I post. Hit the like button if you, almost forgot what I was going to say. Hit the like button if you did like this video and want to see more Dazzleds or Disappointeds. And if you're wanting to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at Michelle's Glamour. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching this video, for going through so many swatches with me. I will see you soon in the next video. Take care.